Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages? Welcome, welcome, welcome to round one of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in March tournament finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we got 4 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way today. But first and foremost, for those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am, I'm RedEyes, your ever-lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you that daily dosage of butt-kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And we have a stacked lobby here for you today, ladies and gentlemen. We got YKG, In Hyper, Golden Eagles, Execute, Wanted Vigilantes, Bope Esports, Your Executioner, Mizexis, Phoenix Esports, Strangers BD, Excuse, Dark Esports. We got Anime Number 1, Old Gangsters, Royals of War, Rude Dudes, Unidentified Humans, The Panthers, Wall Street Bets, and Dauntless. So I'm expecting nothing but action right off the bat, and you know we're kicking things off with the very first map ever introduced to the game. That is, of course, Erangel, before we kick things into that wide open desert, and then get into that lush, condensed forest/jungle of Sanhok to conclude at the very end of the night with where we all started with another Erangel. So what do we need to say about a map like Erangel? It's basically the off-bred love child of Sanhok and Miramar, because it really is the perfect middle ground between those two extremes. So let's see what we're working with here. Right away, we can see, ooh, goodness gracious, of course that's going to be a thing. We're just going to go back here, and my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to update the monitor there, so I will fix that for the next match. But it's a fairly decent flight path here, as you can see. Let me get myself off of the screen as well. But it is a decent flight path. Not anything overly special, but definitely going to be good enough to leave you in the midst of most of the good action. So we're going to start things off by tuning into Pachinki, where the Golden Eagles seem to be dropping alongside the likes of the Old Gangsters. So let's go ahead and tune into that, see what we're working with. We got Apollo just landing at the start here, just trying to get properly looted and stuff before engaging, but the rest of his teammates might be in a bit more of a pickle here. They seem to be a little bit closer to the altercations, especially Golden Eagles Beowulf, who luckily enough is already readily equipped with that UMP-45, that CQC Close Quarter Combat Annihilator, and it's a good thing because Pratty from the Old Gangsters is already firing inbound, and a couple hits actually do connect onto Beowulf. Just, you know, chipping away a slight bit of his health. Not really too much to be overly paranoid about, but definitely something to account for later. He's going to need to boost up. Oh, and already off in the distance, we can see Bope Esports having at it. We're going to go ahead and tune into that just for a brief moment. Looks like NoHax is able to retaliate onto their oppositions. They are facing off against the likes of Execute, I believe. Oh, pardon me, not Execute. It's going to be the likes of the Rude Dudes. We got NoHax trying his best to reclaim a side flank, maybe even secure a thirst. Yep, and that, just like that, NoHax becomes a bowling ball to that bowling pin of an opponent. And already it does seem that Hot Zada and Trip being knocked, it's going to put Fuego and Hax as the final hopes here for the team. Reduced down to half of their starting base here. They're going to have to play this smart. And Fuego just quickly, aggressively rushing in and unfortunately facing the consequences as a result. And boom, just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Bope Esports eliminated before the ending of Stage 1. Not the start to the match that they were hoping for by any means at all. But no time to waste, because we still have this altercation between the Golden Eagles and the likes of the Old Gangsters looming in front of us. Elsewhere, let me see here. I just want to see if I can fix this. Yes, I can. I can fix this map view right here and now. All with the studio mode. I love that. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Properties. We're going to move that. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It is just a smidge of work sometimes, just as we get this going. What is actually happening right here? Okay. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to hold that map thing off for just a little bit of time here. That is a bummer for me, but we do have other things off in the distance. It does look like the unidentified humans, Bird, 5911, and Kalakar remain. It does seem like D2E has already been eliminated, so reducing them down to a 3-piece, and they're going to have to dial things back from that all-out aggressive to a bit more reserved approach. And we can see 5911 already doing so, becoming a sneaky little grass snake here. And a good thing, too, because he's not far from the opposition of Execute Esports, a renowned Tier 1 professional team. And you don't want to be found on your own without the assistance of your teammates up against a Tier 1 pro team by any means. Hey, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Much appreciated. If you're not aware of who I am, I've been hosting, casting, commentating in the PUBG Mobile NA scene for going on about 4 years now. And, oh, Golden Eagle's finally going to have at it here. Let's catch a little glimpse from the old gangster's perspective. My apologies. Let's go back to full screen for that. All right, so we got Playboy very close by the likes of Baby Tang. Pratty maybe even closer. Just so we can get a rough idea here. Yeah, we can see Playboy not far off from his teammate, and it's not at all far from the looming push that's coming in from the Golden Eagles as Beowulf and Baby Tang make their move right here and now. Yeah, we're going to get it from Pratty's perspective just for the time being, just to see how he's going to handle it. Now, you can see he's not trying to bring any unnecessary attention to himself, but this is going to be a little bit of extra pressure here on his teammates to take some of that attention from him. Maybe alleviate some of the pressure from him. Find a way for him to maneuver a rotation out of there. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Pratty's being pushed upon as we speak. Oh, and look who's showing up to the party. We got members of In Hyper coming to party here. We got Prin off in the distance, actually. A good ways off in the distance, making me wonder why it looked like they were just so close there. But either way, it does bring up a good point to illuminate, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be dealing with little bits of downtime, as you can see, we're doing that right here and now. But that's to be expected in large maps, and large maps are going to be 3 out of the 4 maps that we're working with today. So while we have just a brief moment, I'm going to go over the format. Keep in mind the format has changed since this graphic video was made, so I'll go over those changes as we go through it. So we did 3 rounds of qualifiers, 20 teams competing in each qualifier, and 4 teams advancing from each, because we decreased from 4 qualifiers to 3. So 12 qualified teams plus the 8 invited Tier 1 teams, where they all duke it out here for that $450 proverbial cash prize. And we got eyes on Royals of War. Looks like they were almost going to be in an altercation. Looks like it's not going to happen just yet. But there is, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, a love triangle forming here up in the northwestern portion of the map. And that is got to get some attention here. It's going to be the likes of Team 6. That is, of course, Execute, not far off from the opponents in Unidentified Humans. And, well, Jason getting an easy thirst right there and then. It looks like the rest of the gang is going to just be out of the equation as Kalakar rotates southbound and escapes the situation. But that does still leave the looming threat of Team 15, Anime number 1. Oh, it looks like Mizexis is going off in the distance. We're going to go switch over to them just for a brief moment and see what is all the hubbub about. We got Trick securing that first kill for the team. And yep, it looks like they don't have anyone around for miles at this point. Whatever immediate threat was there has been taken care of, and now their closest looming problem is going to be the boys here in Phoenix Esports holding down the bridge. Now, if they have an opportunity to bridge camp that could spell trouble for the likes of Mizexis. But Golden Eagles just lingering here in this looming altercation with the old gangsters. We got Stranger single tapping away at that M4 outbound at Playboy, doing minimal damage, but enough to hold the opposition off at bay and keep him on his toes. Yeah, Karma, I'm not, I haven't hit 1,000 followers yet, so that you're not going to be able to just yet. But, guys, thank y'all so much for being here. All right, so it does seem like Playboy is really stuck in between a rock and a hard place here. He does not have a lot of options afforded to him, and that is going to be very problematic. We're going to have to switch our attention. We don't have a lot of time to waste here. There's so many potential looming altercations. We got in Hyper's Rin just trying to escape the clutches of numerous teams and driving out of the frying pan into the fire, away from one team, and now at this point driving right by Excuse and soon to be passing the likes of Wanted Vigilantes, and that could spell trouble if he doesn't reunite with his team. All the while, we've got Juancho of Execute just riding that north map coast ridge, trying to hold a nice little rotation away from the likes of the Panthers, and it looks like it's not going to be too much trouble in that line. Well, the Playboy has been finished. He held on as long as he could, but ultimately outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. Not a lot of hope there. So we're going to switch our attention over to Dauntless, who is looming nearby the likes of Anime 1. And look, we got Hunter of Gunmen coming in the distance, trying to rotate on by, but that could spell trouble for him if he's not too careful. Yep, and it looks like the boys in Dauntless are going to be getting out of there. We got our crew in Your Executioner. They realize that there was something happening here, and they don't want that smoke too early. So we're going to go back, potentially. Wait, did I just see someone way? Yes, we did. We got some people hanging out outside of zone. It's Muzex is still way out there. But this is still early game. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this, but as the PUBG Mobile match progresses, that dead zone is going to shrink more and more and implement more and more damage to those who occupy it. And so you're going to have to make some moves, make some decisions, and is it going to be an early rotation zone? That all is a contextually situational kind of a thing. It all depends on the player preference and the map rotation and the zone, but we're about to see what's going to happen here. We got Execute. Still a full 4-piece team with 4 kills to their name. They're in a really strong position so far, all things considered. They have all 4 members with 4 kills, 4 eliminations under the belt already. Not a bad start to match 1. But what about the Rude Dudes? I am seeing the Rude Dudes very close by the looming threats of Team 11 Phoenix Esports. Looks like Excuse actually having at it as well. We'll switch over to them for just a brief moment. Oh, they're up against the likes of a team that needs absolutely no introduction at this point in Hyper, who has just been putting up quite a show in the PMPL, is definitely not a team to be underestimated, and I guarantee you Excuse is well aware of it. But look who else is driving by! It's the Wall Street Bets coming in to join the party, and this could spell a lot of trouble for Excuse Kai. Lots of pre-fires here as Exotic comes in with a UMP of his own. Kai retaliating with a UMP spray of his own. And boom. Caught. He somehow dodges that molly. Oh, but shot down to just slivers of his health here. And down he goes. Well, at least he put up a decent fight there. You know, he was outnumbered from the get-go there. And once his teammates were eliminated, it was nothing but trouble. The Wall Street Bets finding themselves a little bit sandwiched here, ironically enough, in between in Hyper. And that is a little surprising to me just because of the fact that they were sort of late to the party here. So they allow themselves to get surrounded. Now, being sandwiched in between one of the top performing teams is not ideal, but Wall Street Bets is a team that also needs no introduction. Very well renowned professional tier 1 team in NA. But Exotic is down. Kubi's desperately trying to pull a rotation and shot right out of the vehicle. Oof. Well, no mercy, and 0-5 are all that remains now for Wall Street Bets. I withdraw that statement as Exotic is revived. And that's going to reduce them down to a 3-piece, all things considered. All right, so what else is happening here in the map of Erangel, the ever-shrinking map of Erangel, I should say. What is going on with my controls, too? All right, well, it looks like a couple potential altercations on the board. We're going to go back to, I guess, Unidentified Humans Calicar, who's been hanging on by the hair on his chin, just hanging on by a thread here. The final hope for Unidentified Humans, and this is a very important role that he needs to play because, you know, caster curses are real. Well, I was going to say it's a very important role to get those placement points for your team so you can stay in the running here, but, you know, hindsight being 2020. We got Alf just wrecking house there. This is Alf of Phoenix Esports, trying to reunite with his teammates Canary against this looming threat in anime number 1. We got Soul and Satu looking like they have weighed their options and decided to dip on out of Dodge, but now they are actually getting closer. This is one of the few situations where you can say holding a low ground position can be advantageous, and in this case it was. Anime was able to utilize that low ground hill divot to stay out of the line of sight of the opponent. And while they are driving up to reunite as a team, that does leave Wanted Vigilantes Fishy in a bit of a tough position here. All the while, Strangers BD going off in the distance. I think I'm going to switch over to that because this could drag on for some time. Now, interestingly enough to note, Strangers starting off the match as a 3-piece, already coming in at a disadvantage. They're going to have to play things a bit more reserved. We got Mezexis. They did lose Trick already, but a 3-piece Mezexis team is not to be underestimated. We got Inactive, Clown, and Peralta holding position. Oh, Peralta taking a pretty significant amount of damage there. Reduced down to just above half health, but he is going to be able to pull a little side rotation. Keep up and moving. And as we have quoted the scripture of Vin Diesel many a time, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. And you can do some damage to your opponent, but if you don't get that knock, it's almost as if it never happened. All right, once again, back to the likes of the Phoenixes here as Canary is taken down. That is a bird down, but can he be the Phoenix that he's trying to be and rise from the ashes? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the dad jokes are in full effect today. We got Alf getting a nice finish there with blood on the mind, as to be expected. But boy, we have Deluido here stuck in between two teams. He's got a member of Wanted Vigilantes and then multiple members of Anime here. And Alf coming to help out, but no need. He's got the distance spray with that M4, quickly switching over to the double barrel shotgun, but finding himself really injured. Thank goodness he has that smoke, going to exemplify the importance of utilities, especially in the competitive esports scene. Well, that smoke is all that saved him from that knock. That what seemed like an inevitable knock. And, oh, the monster finish with the vehicle explosion. A third party from the Panthers. Nicely done. Going to really take advantage of the playing field where you can. Comes with the Tier 1 experience. Well, this is a tough one. The Canary has been downed again. That bird has been shot from the sky for a second time in 2 to 3 minutes. And looks like they might have a little saving grace as the Panthers are getting distracted. And as I say it, they are eliminated by, you know them, YKG, another team that just absolutely needs no introduction. The Young Kings Global. Putting up quite a show in PNPL. Royals of War coming in to fight right in the mix with Strangers BD, and that is Dream taken down. That's going to reduce everything down to UIOEU. Coming in with that Uzi, getting some quick SMG kills. Now, will he be able to revive his fallen teammate Dreamzy before an inevitable push? I don't actually think it is going to be that inevitable. Strangers, Volt X is a ways away. He's not. He's not. Lungi Baba and Revenge are just upstairs. Boy, he really wanted to stay dedicated to that utility, but it paid off. Say what you will. It was a risky move to play, but it worked in this case. Oh! And nicely done. Another takedown, this time on to Royals of War's Skeller. And that's going to bring them up to 4 kills, just like that. But no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. It is front to back. Action non-stop. This is exactly what the edge of your seat was made for, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get eyes on the Golden Eagles, I think, here. Oh, Beowulf is taken down. Sorry about that. Baby Tang. Ooh, wow. Love it. Love to see the sneaky little water snake tactics here. But I don't blame him one bit, because his only remaining teammate that is no longer remaining was already knocked. Not much that he could have done in terms of assisting him. And Volt X brought a little too much unnecessary attention to himself and just ganged upon right there. What about Mezexis, carrying on as a 3-piece, but with 3 kills to their name, 2 of which go to Clown, who's still up. Now, if this is the Clown I think it is, I'm curious, does anyone know if this used to be 187 Clown? From, they were a pretty popular high bracket tier 2 team about 2 years ago, and a couple Men of Fours Blaze was on it. Is this the same Clown? Because if that is the case, that is a very, very, very dangerous player. Oh, thank you so much, Gianna. Oh, I appreciate you. I just realized my link was not shared. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is switch our attention briefly over to Strangers BD. Still, I mean, they entered this match as a 3-piece. They're still a 3-piece with 4 kills to their name. And I mean, let's not discredit it. They're holding position. They've got the edge of zone. They've got some compound cover. They're playing this very well. Mezexis trying to find a way to cross through the utility smoke, just clouding themselves in this pool of smoke as they swim their way across. Metaphorically speaking, of course, and get closer and closer to Dauntless. We got Peralta coming in. Clown is quickly knocked and thirsted to follow, leaving it all riding on Inactive and Peralta. Peralta going into FPP mode, man after my own heart, but unfortunately taken down, leaving Inactive as the final hope, and he is on fire, and that bush is burning. All right, getting eyes once again on YKG. They did climb up 2 more kills since we last tuned into them. We got Joey, Forsyth, and Chico here in the mix. Joey cooking up a nade. Gonna make it rain a little bit of hellfire on the opposition, and it falls just a smidge short, but not an unintentional throw. He was aiming there on purpose, and if he had thrown it maybe a half second to 2 seconds earlier, who knew what connect. Forsyth, another player who needs no introduction. Ooh, going in, but giving it some spray and pray shots, and ultimately taken down in retaliation as Revenge is served cold and fast, leaving Joey as the last final remaining hope, but with a double barrel, and he quickly wrecks into Revenge, a thirst to follow before his own elimination. Wow. All right, well, we got no time to waste yet again. The Panthers moving forward as a full 4-piece, but with 11 kills to their name. Just absolutely dominating the playing field right now, and in a altercation here, a battle of utilities with Dauntless, and nice takedown on Claws right then and there. It's gonna leave Yang, Kowalski, and Royce trying to enshroud his fallen teammate in a cloud of smoke, giving him a little bit of cover where he can, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Royce trying to throw some preemptive nades of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 4 teams. Strangers BD, Golden Eagles, the Panthers, and Dauntless. It's a 4v4v3v1 to end round 1. Revenge. Some distance shots with that 4x M4 aimed outward at the Panthers Quan, not quite hitting the mark, but boom! A little assistance from his teammate Volt X, and they are able to finish that job. Whew. Lots happening throughout the entirety of this match. There has been not even, but maybe 1 minute to maybe 90 seconds of downtime this entire match. It's a pretty uncommon trait for an Erangel match, but hey, these are the finals, baby. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. For those of you who aren't aware about this tournament, it is now 25 months running. This is the 25th installment of the Dead Month series, and I can't wait to see where we're at in another year. This is now the second longest running non-affiliated PUBG Mobile event in North America, and one of only 2 opportunities to compete on a recurring monthly basis with the pros. And the only other way to do that is the newest tournament in the scene, the Titan Series, brought to you by Aftershock Media Group. And that has a $2,000 prize pool, so make sure you're a part of that, ladies and gentlemen. Nate just clinging to life here. That nade reduced him down to just below half health, but he is still very much in the equation. And look what he's got ready and waiting. That double barrel shotgun, that DBS, that close quarter combat annihilator. Going for some jump shots with it. Not hitting the mark with claws. And trying another one just a little bit far out. I'd say even that 8 or 9 feet of distance was just kind of a bit of a stretch in terms of the damage it could have possibly done. It could have gotten a takedown, sure. I wouldn't have been surprised if it did, but I also wasn't surprised when it didn't. Yang from Dauntless taking a bit of a hit, reduced down to 3/4 of his overall health. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be where it all goes down. All-out bloodbath warfare from this point on. Oh, another nade onto Klaus. Yang trying to hold this geographical boulder cover using what little bits he can. Oh, Revenge implementing just that, but ooh, a little revenge on revenge coming from Yang, and now he is the final hope here for Dauntless. Securing a thirst on Revenge, interestingly enough, and trying to bring his teammate back to a position to cover, realizing that it's about as good as it's going to get here. And Volt X with an aggressive push, but ultimately it's Baby Tang from the Golden Eagles coming in from outside of the zone, giving up his location in the process and just picked apart by Volt X as a result. But now we got a 1v1, a fair fight to end round 1. Wow. Goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen. Any way you look at it, that is game over. But what a match. And it's actually going to go to the 3-piece of Strangers BD. I mean, coming in at an immediate disadvantage, 1 player short, and then finishing with a gold medal first place finish with 14 kills. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you aren't aware, we are working with the standard scoring protocol that is implemented with PMPL. I guess it's newly adjusted, so I shouldn't say standard, but the new scoring system. So this is a huge gain for the likes of Strangers BD, as they put up literally 14 eliminations plus that 10 placement points. I mean, that's 24 points right off the bat. Round 1 couldn't go too much better for them. Great job. We got the Panthers doing what the Panthers do, securing that 2nd place this time with 12 kills to their name. 3rd place going to the likes of the Golden Eagles, almost perfectly evenly distributed kills. 7 kills and a 3rd place finish. Ain't nothing to wag your finger at. We got Dauntless securing 4th, and that's going to be with 9 kills. The Young Kings, YKG, in 5th place with 3 kills. 6th place is going to belong to Mezexis with 3 as well. We got Wall Street Bets securing 7th with 4 kills, 3 of which came from Exotic. NHP in Hyper, of course. 8th place, 4 kills between QZZ and Ren. We got the Royals of War grabbing 9th this time around, but with a big fat onion for kills. The Rude Dudes securing 10th with 5 kills. The Wanted Vigilantes in 11th with 1. That's from Fishy. We've got the Phoenix Boys in 12th with 5 kills between Canary and Alf. AN1, that's anime number 1 in 13th place with 2 kills. Dark Esports in 14th, but with 0 to speak of. Your Executioner in 15th, but with 0 as well. The unidentified humans remain unidentified with that big old onion. We got the Execute boys in 17th with 4 kills between Jason and Casper. And lastly, lastly, we got Excuse in 18th place with 2 kills, 1 from Rosh and 1 from James. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's just 1 match down. We still have 3 more rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy ahead of us. Now, we've seen them on the first map ever of Erangel, but what's going to happen when we take things to that wide open desert? I am, of course, speaking about Miramar as we return for round 2 of 4 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in March tournament finals. The 25th month, sorry, in just a few short minutes. Stick around, guys. We'll be back soon. Alrighty, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, all you cutie patooties to round 2 of 4 of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead March Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. And we're kicking it off, as you guessed it, the wide open desert, of course, Miramar. And what do we need to say about a map like Miramar? Well, it's essentially the largest map that we're going to be working with. Technically, Erangel is the same size, being an 8x8, but that includes Erangel's bodies of water. So realistically, this is going to be the largest that we're working with, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just going to be a bit slimmer. But it's also the most open map that we have, meaning that the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters away just exponentially higher. And the third and final thing I want to say about Miramar is that the map is so large that it finds itself almost entirely reliant upon the flight path to determine what sort of early game we actually end up getting for the first bit of the map. So, with that said, I know that when we switch to this map feed, it's not going to be accurate, but I'm going to fix it right here and now. Okay. So, display capture, game feed, bam. All right, there we go. So, just a moment. Why is that even showing up? Here we go. Of all the times to have these little technical issues, but we got it. So from here on out, the map view is going to be good. And look at that flight path, ladies and gentlemen. You can't really ask for a much more ideal flight path for if you are the participants. And the reason I say that, while it isn't perfectly central, is because of this route from Campo Militar all the way down to the prison region. And let me go ahead and highlight that a little bit here for you. And you can't really see it there. Let me change that highlighter color as well, just since it is a Miramar. It's going to be the only one that we're really going to need to do that with, I think, hopefully. But we are going to go ahead and do it. So, this route from Campo Militar down through Valle del Mar, it has 2 strings of cities, and this is dividing that pretty well. But we're not going to waste time. Let's get into the thick of it. Well, already kicking things off, we got in Hyper here, very close by the looming threat of Your Executioner. Your Executioner has Hunter of Gunmen on there. He is one of the 2 sponsors of this event, and basically him and his wife are the entire reason that we are able to continue this. So be sure to extend a heartfelt thank you to them as well. All right, well, QZZ a ways out, but you know who isn't? Is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Shifen. This guy needs no introduction, but let me just tell you, if you are looking to learn like a crash course in some pretty advanced stuff with the game, he is really getting into his YouTube videos now, and they are good. They are really, really helpful. I think one of his first ones that he did after a while was like over 1 million views. I could be wrong about that, but I think I might be on the money with it. All right, no time to waste. Off in the distance, as soon as I switch away from him, all right, we got Shifen going in the second I tune out, because he is not liking it when I take the camera off of him. So he's proving a point. He gets a knock on Hunter of Gunmen. It's hog hunting season, and that leaves Broda off on the side. Now, Shifen, not so easily fooled, not going to be presenting himself as any open target here for the opposition, but he does find himself in a bit of a 2-1 split sandwich here by the members of Your Executioner, with Broda holding one angle, Sparta another. Actually, it's turning into a little love triangle around Shifen. Now, I don't really think that Your Executioner has practiced implementing the boa strat, and the only reason I say that is just because I haven't seen them ever try to implement it before. But, ooh, we got Baby Tang being eliminated off in the distance. That is 1 eagle shot down, leaving it remaining on Stranger, Apollo, and Beowulf. All the while, the Panthers having a little bit of blood in the distance. Yep. It's Zuko with both kills to his name, and he has got another rude dude that he is advancing upon. It's Manny, and he is not alone. He's got his boy, Benzina here. quickly approaching the altercation, aggressively pushing with that UMP-45, and still getting the takedown, even with that off-angle surprise shot. Boy, those Panthers ain't playing games. And that is going to put a world of trouble on that final remaining rude dude, Moose. A moose is not very comfortable in the desert. That's no place for a moose. All right, well, Hyper still up against your Executioner, and that is a takedown on Broda by the likes of Ren, leaving Sparta as the last remaining hope. The last of the Executioners here. All right, just waiting for that inevitable push, and he hears them getting closer and closer, but in moving around, those footsteps gave his location up, and it was just quick work for Ren. But no time to waste. Ladies and gentlemen, you know how these Dead in Month events go. We don't like to mess around with downtime, so we're going to keep the action flowing here and just see what else is happening on the board. Let me just check something here. I just want to make sure that this is working correctly now. Yeah. All right. Okay. And nice. All right. So on the board, a little bit of a spread elsewhere, but I think what we could do is just hang around with Wall Street bets for a little bit, see what they're going to end up doing in this altercation that they're having with both esports. It looks like Kubi has been taken down. Sorry about that. Looks like Kubi has been taken down there. Exotic with that Mini 14, keeping the pressure on from a distance. That could be a lot of trouble for the opposition, especially if they push out into the open outside those buildings. But Lala himself in a bit of a conundrum as he's being pushed upon by Trip of both esports, firing away with that UMP-45, but taking a lot of damage in retaliation, and then a nade to chip off a little bit more. And just like that, Lala is down for the count. That's going to put all the pressure remaining riding on D09 with that 4X M16 aimed outwards at no hacks. Oh, I apologize. Exotic's still very much in the mix. But I still think that they might have the right idea here by dipping out of dodge and just trying to ensure that they get some decent placement this match. There's still 2 more matches to go after this, and you don't want to be eliminated from the equation too early on. I think, you know what? Yeah, we are going to go check out the old gangsters. Oh, nope. We're going right on back. Going right on back. Exotic taking a lot of damage and shot right out of the vehicle. Both no hacks. Not playing games. That is an escape. That is not happening. Now, this is something I want to draw attention to, ladies and gentlemen. The Panthers, if they become aware of this final member here... Ooh, pardon me. Yep, it's Moose. If they become aware of this final rude dude, it is going to spell trouble for him, because the Panthers are infamous, in my opinion, one of the best teams at implementing that BOA strategy. Now, the BOA strategy is not an official term. It's just something I made up because I'm not really sure what else to call it. But it's essentially a 2-2 split, 3-1 split, or a 1-1-1-1 split, surrounding your opponents and simultaneously constricting on them, much like a BOA would do. And it's a tough tactic to implement successfully, but if you've got it down, it is very tough to combat. All right, we're going to go to one of the young kings. It's going to be Chico. Chico of YKG, aiming outward at Lung Baba of Strangers BD, and definitely implementing some damage there, but not enough for the takedown. Baba reduced down to actually below half health, but he's going to be able to utilize that geographical cover and heal up, leaving a lot of pressure on Volt. But that does bring up a great point, ladies and gentlemen. On a map as wide open as Miramar is, where compound cover can become so few and far between, that's when it really comes down to understanding the good hills and divots and knowing the geography, knowing where you can get some natural cover when it's afforded to you. Unidentified humans out in the western portion of the dead zone, rotating southbound, and this could amount to something here, because if they continue on this route, they might run into Dauntless very shortly. Yep, and Bird getting maybe a little wind of Dauntless, changing his direction quite a bit. And I think, yeah, they must have caught wind. So where's the next bit of blood going to come from? There's so many options, so many possibilities. I think what we're going to check in on is QZZ of In Hyper. He's trying to secure a little bit of geographical high ground and get some overwatch on the opposition in Old Gangsters, but taking a lot of damage in the process and actually reduced down to 1/4 of his overall health. Now look at this. In Hyper, 4 kills already on the board before stage 2 even ends, and it's perfectly distributed. 1 kill per person, everybody's eating. Very healthy. Hey, BBK. I want to give a huge shout out to my staff, Christy, Tiny, and DeAsia. They are the backbones of this entire event, especially Christy, who is, I only say especially because she's been doing it for so long, and also because she does do a lot of the directing of it. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, none of this event would be possible without my amazing staff and all the hard work that they put in. We bust our butts to put on something that we're very proud of for you guys. And as I said, it's 25 months running. I couldn't be more thankful to them. So if you guys appreciate this event, be sure to let them know and give Christy a thank you. All right, Quan coming in. Rosh still with no health, able to clutch the finish there. Well, revenge dished out from the high ground by Ren and QZZ, and that's to be expected at that point. Oh, you can bet that they were ticked off when their teammate got thirsted. And, oh, Ren taking some side damage. It's actually I think it might be a third party from Old Gangsters, or it could be this, actually, it's the rotation that Excuse is pulling. Rosh holding the compound, taking the majority of the attention off of his teammate. And also the looming threat of Old Gangsters could be something to keep an eye out on, but it doesn't seem to be too concerning just yet. Rosh and James, all that remains now for Excuse, and getting surrounded by one of the top performing teams in North America in Hyper. Pressure would be an understatement. Rosh can't do anything rash, but he doesn't want to present himself on a platter, but he is feeling the pressure. In Hyper, kind of getting situated around him. Whether or not they're going to push on him yet to be seen, but with kindness right there, I think he's going to be anything but kind about it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just now tuning in, this is round 2 of 4 of my very own Redeyes $450 Dead in March Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. All right, nades have been thrown. Boy, I hate to say it, but I think his moments are numbered, and while that is, you know, something to watch, the unidentified humans, okay, they're not as close to YKG as I thought. We'll go back. All right, Rosh, awaiting that inevitable push. Those buildings not quite rendered in just yet. All right, Rosh preemptively firing. I mean, he does not have a lot that he can do here in terms of options. He is outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned, and this is going to be a tough one. He does get the takedown on kindness, though. And quick work, as he is eliminated in a retaliatory knock. That's going to leave James, and James alone, all in the desert by himself. Well, Strangers BD, you know, after that impressive performance in round 1, I'm wondering if they can maintain that momentum, ride that confidence factor here, and we're about to find out right now, because they're up against the likes of Mizexis. All the while, Golden Eagles and Royals of War having at it in the distance. I think I might switch over to it. Yeah, Golden Eagles. 2 Eagles down. It's all riding on Beowulf and Apollo, and just as I say that, revenge of Mizexis getting a takedown. right as I switched away. Well, Apollo taking a lot of damage in that spray. Reduced down to below half health. He does have that DBS. So there is hope on the horizon. And as I say it, the caster curse says nope. That's going to leave Beowulf and Beowulf alone. And he is a ways away from that altercation. So, Bope eliminating Stranger's BD right there and then. No time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse James. Oh, pardon me. It's not excuse James. It's actually going to be the anime boys. Anime number 1. Datham getting a quick takedown on the old gangsters. All right, well, they're going to have to play a little bit carefully because those shots off in the distance may or may not have caught wind for InHyper. Now, if that is the case, you can bet your bottom dollar that, like sharks in the water, InHyper is going to come out looking for the blood. And with anime number 1 having their back turned to the dead zone, that could give quite an advantage to InHyper. I'm not sure that they actually ended up hearing those shots from that distance. You have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, a Miramar match. And Miramar, while things, as my boy DKZA says, it's like one of those rear view mirrors that you see. It's like objects may be further away than they actually appear. All right, well, anime number 1, Datham, firing away at InHyper. He is very lucky to be alive at this stage with just barely anything in terms of health. He does have some first aids he's going to utilize right here and now. But those sprays from InHyper could have been his undoing. So getting that second chance alive, he's going to have to play it a little bit more careful. The Royals of War, the winners of the Dead in February $450 tournament, back for round... I guess I said back for another installment. Back for blood. Out to prove that they're the kings of the hill. And that's going to be a tough one to do up against some of these teams. Ooh, Mizexis coming up to the party here. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, that is one Royal of War member being eliminated and trying to crawl his way back down the hill to cover. I'm a little bit surprised to see Mizexis not securing a thirst, but look at this. Anime number 1, Halthandra, coming up to the party as well, trying to catch an off angle, maybe even secure a third party or a kill steal. Well, Remix of Mizexis getting closer and closer to that altercation and quickly catching wind of what's happening there. I think he has a change of heart as Royals of War engage with anime number 1. We got WM2, or I guess M2M here. Quickly adjusting the scope on his M4, firing away and just wrecking house onto Halthandra. Boy, that's some good recoil control. All right, well, we got 2 members of InHyper down as well. And that's going to... Oh, 1 at this point. Just QZZ down. Shifen, Ren, and Kindness still up and about. Trying to budge that vehicle free. Shifen not getting so lucky there. All right, we're going to go check out Soul of anime number 1. Well, he just apparently wrecked house with that DBS, but taking some third-party shots from the likes of Dark Esports in the distance, and he's got a molly with War on the mind, getting the finish on Fishy as well. Wow. Securing 4 of the team's 6 kills. Boy. My apologies for not being familiar with Soul, but I'm familiar now. Royals of War getting Kindness from InHyper off in the distance. Kindness is dead. It's all gonna be up in the air. That's usually where the rude dudes would come in, you think. Rin desperately fighting from the low ground at a disadvantage. Boy, just wrecked into. That high ground can be the difference maker between life and death. We got Shifen trying to enshroud his fallen teammate in a cloud of smoke, leaving QZZ in charge of Overwatch and cover fire. QZZ doing Overwatch beautifully, wrecking house. All the while, they might catch a little bit of a blessing as Bope also attacks InHyper. Oh boy, Shifen really the focal point here. The last hope for InHyper. just being ganged upon by Bope and by the likes of Mizexis as well. And Shifen is down. I withdraw that statement about him being the last hope. We still have QZZ up in the mix. And he is fighting from the dead zone to try to work his way in. He might even be able to catch an off angle on Mizexis. If they're not aware of his positioning, he could come in and get some interesting surprise angles. He's only going to have one shot at that, but not even going to make it to the zone, unfortunately. Bringing me to a great point, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what tier you're at. I don't care if you're a pro player or not. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has a higher KD than that blue zone. All right, so what to tune into? I think we might go check out, oh boy, Xeno's in of Clips Before Chicks, filling in with the wanted vigilantes. That is not, neither of them are teams you want to underestimate, actually. But we're going to switch our attention over to YKG in this altercation with Dauntless. YKG currently sitting on 2 kills, 1 to Chico, 1 to 24K. And look, Joey wrecking into Yang off in the distance with a utility takedown. And he's got another one to aim in. He knows where they're at. Oh boy. Talk about a risky revive on Erangel, but they do secure it. I think. Yep, he's able to heal up. Oh boy, Roy's. That wall is a false sense of cover. Yep, and he's taking a lot of utility damage from it. And Forsyth wrecking into Claws right then and there. Joey with a nade to get the... Apparently that was Joey's nade. And look. Anime number 1 in some third parties. Well, Forsyth knows it's not over yet. He's rushing in on Royce and finishing the job right then and there, as to be expected with a player of his caliber. Great performance. We're going to switch our attention briefly, once again, to the 2-piece of wanted vigilantes. Now, they've lost Mars and Fishy, leaving it riding on Zeozin and Zed, but they've got a bit of a tough pickle here because they're stuck in between a rock and a hard place with Bope Esports above them, and just beneath them, they got anime number 1. We see Zed trying to utilize what bits of cover he can, and this is what I was talking about. When natural cover's not afforded, those utilities can be the difference maker of life and death, but not for Zed. A little spray and pray action as that nade was perfectly cooked up. Oh, and one more, and Zeozin fell for that trap. The trap that I see all too often in Miramar, just those tiny shacks giving that false sense of comfort. Those 4 walls are lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. You are essentially just fishing a barrel at that point for a nade. Well, the unidentified humans reduced down to Calicar and Bird. 5911 and D2E early eliminations on their end, but that's going to leave Calicar here trying to heal up, utilizing what cover he can, and Casper from Execute says no, sir, making it rain a bit of hellfire. Now that leaves the Bird, and the Bird only can he fly away. I don't think there's a possible chance of escaping this, and Casper cooking up more mollies. Can Bird maybe get this heal off? He does so successfully, but knowing what I know about Execute, I don't think they're anywhere near out of utilities, and I don't think Bird is any kind of safe just yet. And we're hearing shots off in the distance. Guys, we're down to 5 teams remaining. Oh boy. YK, that's 24. And Joey reckoning with a distance takedown just like that. Alright, Chico firing outward with the M4. Let me actually get this clipped here. Alright, we got it clipped. Alright, so now this is going to be a tough one for the likes of Execute, especially. Just completely sandwiched. They are the deli meat in this peanut butter and trouble sandwich in between YKG and anime number 1 and Bope. Oh boy, the nades have been thrown. Juancho taken down in a sniper knock. Joey up against the likes of Casper and Jason, but he's got Forsyth and Chico assisting him from behind. And he's going to go cook up a nade, but taking a lot of damage in the process. Ultimately taken down, leaving it riding on Forsyth and Chico. Forsyth firing uphill with that 4X M4 combo. Quickly pulling a low ground rotation to try to assist his fallen teammate Joey. Give him a little bit of vehicle cover if possible. All the while, Chico in charge of overwatch and cover fire here, trying to hold off the looming threat of Execute and BOP Esports at bay. Those are two Tier 1 pro teams. That is two very serious threats on their heels. Well, Forsyth does get Joey back up. And Chico cooking up another smoke here. Trying to add some ambiguity here to this path. And Forsyth running right through and driving. Almost got Casper taken down there, but not able to finish the job. And that's the importance of smokes. Jason is down, leaving everything riding on this friendly ghost. Now, can he finish the job? Ooh, he's going to try to go for a revive on his fallen teammate, Jason. And this is going to be a tough one, guys. We're down to two teams. It's going to be Execute and BOP in a 2v4 to end round 2. Wow. Takedown from the low ground from Casper, getting him midair. Can he do it again? Oh, getting the finish on Hot Zada, but ultimately served a dish of revenge. Cold and fast. And ladies and gentlemen, any way you look at it, that's got to be game over. But, we've got to give it up to BOP Esports. That was a very impressive performance here in round 2 as they secured first place with, count them up, 15 kills. 15 kills and that first place finish. That's going to be 25 points on the board for round 2 alone. Execute, great performance on their end as well. Second place, ain't nothing wrong with silver, with 4 kills to their name, 3 of which go to Casper. Anime number 1 in third, but with 11 kills, and Soul has a heavy backpack, responsible for 8 of those team's 11. We got YKG grabbing 4th, and that's going to be with, count them up, 8 kills. 8 kills, not bad at all. Unidentified Humans in 5th, but with 0 kills to speak of. The Wanted Vigilantes in 6th, with a big onion. Dauntless grabbing 7th this time around with 2. We got Mizexis securing 8th, and that's going to be with 8 kills. 6 of those 8 come from Clown alone. We got Dark Esports in 9th this time around with 1 kill from Noob. 10th place going to the Team Phoenix Esports with 3 kills, 2 of which go to Ghost. We got In Hyper here this time around in 11th, but while they were eliminated in 11th, they still were able to manage to put up 9 kills on the board before being eliminated. And Royals of War in 12th with 5. Excuse securing 13th with 3. 14th is going to belong to the Rude Dudes, and that's going to be with 0. The Golden Eagles not landing on the mark that they were setting here for themselves. 15th place this time around with 0 kills. The Old Gangsters are definitely facing the consequences of that old age. 0 kills for them. Strangers BD not able to maintain that momentum and confidence from round 1. 17th place this time around with 0 kills, almost undoing all that progress that they made in round 1. The Panthers grabbing 18th this time with 4 kills to their name. 19th goes to Wall Street Bets with 0. And lastly, Your Executioner in 20th in last place with 0. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's half of the matches off the board and under our belt. We've seen our participants on the very first map ever of Erangel, and now the wide open desert of Miramar. But what's going to happen when we take things to that lush condensed forest? I am, of course, speaking about Sanhok as we return for round 3 of my very own Redeyes $450 Dead in March Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming in just a few short moments. Stick around, we'll be back soon.
chance. Live your life for just one night, no looking back. 'Cause tonight will make it right. Keep this feeling getting high.
I never saw it coming, I couldn't read the signs. I don't know why I let you in this time, I must be blind. I guess I couldn't trust you, 'cause all you did was lie. Oh no, I have to keep you off my mind. 'Cause of you, I'm wired up, I don't want you, it's time for you to go. Oh, you, I had enough, I don't want you, it's time for you to go.
Alrighty, welcome back, all you cutie patooties to round 3. Pardon me, round 3 of 4 of my very own Redeyes $450 Dead Dead in March tournament finals. Why is that not working? Okay. All right, I see you. We are going to be kicking off round 3 as, you guessed it, a Sanhok. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Sanhok? Essentially, it's the exact opposite of our last match, which was Miramar, our largest map. This is our smallest map, and that is going to be quite a bit different. It means that their players are going to automatically start off with less room, less wiggle room, less space to occupy. It's the smallest map, so the odds of you landing next to another team just going to be a bit higher, but also it is the most condensed map that we have in the game. Now, what do I mean when I say condensed? I mean most lush in vegetation. There's more natural cover to take, more grass to hide inside, and trees and boulders to hide behind, so you need to be alert for a higher than average number of snakes than usual. And the third and final thing I'm going to say is that this map is so small that it finds itself pretty independent of the flight path. You can get pretty much anywhere you want just by deploying your chute early enough. So it's just a bit of irony at this point that the participants are left with an almost perfectly central flight path. But let's go ahead and get into the thick of it and see who is going to go where. Oh, wow. Already getting a lot of the central map love and some early jumpers, dauntless jumping kind of all over the place with the old gangsters. Unidentified humans going southbound past the ruins. We got Wall Street bets looking like they might occupy Painan, and some of the old gangsters going to land right in the mix with YKG, the heaviest hitters, some of the heaviest hitters in North America. We got Forsyth already here with the Vector QBZ combo, just trying to get properly looted. And I know you guys cannot see. I got to remember about that map view. And it's not game over, ladies and gentlemen. It's not game over. It's round 3. And why is every single button pressing at once? Round 3 of 4 of my very own Redeyes $450 Dead in March tournament finals. Brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunman and Glacier Gaming. I think what I'm going to do, actually, is switch my attention over to Dark Esports. Boy, are they ever spread out. We got IFA here. Very close by, a member of the Golden Eagles. Ronaldo and Amrit, though, pretty close to an altercation of their own. Looks like there's not going to be a lot of opportunity to sit around and say what could happen, because we have too many fights already on the board as QZZ of InHyper prepares to face off with James from Excuse Esports. All the while, one of Vigilantes are getting wrecked into by Royals of War. And oh, QZZ has nothing in terms of armor or weaponry. Yeah, so this is just going to be trying to stay away from the hits is all he's doing. Can't really blame him. Well, that's one Eagle shot down, Baby Tang, but luckily the rest of his team is coming in, guns a-blazing to help out. All the while, YKG facing off with the old gangsters. Jasa taking quite a hit there. 24K holding a little bit of high ground, cooking up a utility nade. And yeah, that could spell a lot of trouble for Jasa. Jasa pulling a great rotation. Joey getting another finish off in the distance with that UMP. Yeah, and just like that, Jasa is the final hope. The last of the old gangsters. And that's after a pretty rough match, last one. Yeah, the DBS, it can put up a fight, but it sometimes, you know, you're outnumbered, outmanned, outgunned, and can only do so much as one man. But can't reflect on that. No time to waste. We got Mizexis up in the mix here with the likes of the Rude Dudes. Bit of a hit there. Aiming outwards and uphill at Moose. Moose really utilizing that boulder cover, knowing the geographical advantage from it and the high ground as well. We got Trick of Mizexis already up in the mix as well. All right, well, Musex is doing pretty well for themselves here at that stage. We're going to go back to the western coast here, where Execute is surrounding your Executioner. This is a battle for who gets the name, I think. And it's actually going to be just Fate who's really kind of the closest in the mix. But if I'm going to be just frankly honest here, I mean, it's Fate who's at a disadvantage, a strong disadvantage here. As I say that, I'm noticing Juancho's also in the mix, and so I might have to stand corrected there. But as I said it, Hunter of Gunmen wrecking into Juancho, leaving Fate as the only one here remaining. One of his teammates somewhere out in the distance. Okay. Yeah, it's Casper coming in from across the roadway, but I don't know if he'll be able to assist Fate in time. Fate taking some more damage, shot down to below half health here. It's going to be a tough one. Luckily, he's got a teammate coming into the mix. Casper, sneaky as a ghost can be, catching that off angle potentially, but he doesn't seem aware of a member of your Executioner right behind him. And in firing, boy, that was actually Bope showing up to the mix, potentially, off in the distance. Yep, and Hunter of Gunmen, is he going to advance on it? I'm going to switch it to their perspective, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that doesn't upset anyone. I am going to switch it to their perspective just to see, you know, hey, can the underdogs get it? Yes, it's a Hunter of Gunmen wrecking into Casper right then and there. M4 6X combo at the ready, and oh, but in doing so, he was basically sending out a honing beam for a third party from Bope Esports. Oh, pardon me, that's Execute. That was actually Execute who got that. Fate and Jason, the final two hopes for the team, trying to secure a revive on their fallen teammate Casper. Fate firing outwards with a holographic AK-47 and getting some significant damage there onto Yas. But as much as I would like to hang out here, the Panthers are having at it in the distance, and if you ever want to see the Panthers thrive on a map, you'd think it would be the jungle map, right? So, let's see if they can do it. Focusing in on wanted vigilantes, Fishy. He is the last hope for the team and taking a lot of damage there in the process. Shot down to below half health. It's going to be tricky. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on Twitch, the stream is going to be ending there now. So, all right, so if you're watching on Twitch, I'm ending the stream there now. I hope to see you guys go over to YouTube. All right. Well, Fishy, I don't think he really well, I guess I'm wrong. I was going to say, I don't think he has a lot of reason to engage and aggravate the Panthers when he's just so unbelievably outnumbered, and to fire on a vulnerable Panther and be the only one firing is actually just relaying information to the enemy that you're alone. So I'm not sure how I feel about him engaging there, but it happened. And this looming standoff here between Execute and your Executioner continues. All the while, boy, Fishy is in a conundrum. The Panthers have spread out on what could be the most momentous gatekeep strategy of the day, if they are able to implement it. And remember what I was saying about that BOA strat, ladies and gentlemen. If there's a team that I think executes that perfectly almost, at least has the highest rate of success with it, it would be the Panthers. So I do not want to rule anything out, especially with this 2-1-1 split that they have here. Just so we are clear, I'm speaking about this region right here. I'm going to have to make this... There we go. That's a little bit... Yeah, it's better. Now you can see everything. Yeah, so Fishy could be in a conundrum here, especially with Nate of the Panthers so close by. But gonna have to wait and see. Yep, that fish has been dragged out of the water. You caught him. No time to waste. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm growing a whole cornfield of dad jokes here. The more awkwardly bad the joke is, the more I like it. So, okay, Nate of the Panthers, probably a little unawares of the threat of Strangers BD approaching him from behind in the dead zone. I don't think that he expects that at this stage, but I'm going to keep eyes moving around the board here as Execute does get the finish on their opposition. I'm guessing that was probably your Executioner. Boy, Royals of War way out, holding the edge of zone here, which brings me to a great point, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to go show you guys this. Literally half the zone is occupied by water, maybe even potentially... It's just slightly under half, about 40% on this left side, but that riverway, I guess both those riverways, kind of evening it out to right around 50%, further limiting our participants' options on where to go on an already small map. Luckily for them, it's Sanhok, where compound cover is everywhere. That's not true. Compound cover is abundant, but even when it's not, there's geographical cover to be had. But for now, we're going to switch to the unidentified humans. They're getting sandwiched as we speak. I know. Currently getting sandwiched as we speak here. They got Dauntless above them, and beneath them, the likes of Golden Eagles and In Hyper. But no time to waste. 59-11. Here's the approaching threat of Dauntless, firing away a couple warning shots, quickly switching over to the DBS double-barrel shotgun. One good thing UH has going for them here is that they are a single solidified unit. It could be a good thing. It could also be their undoing, depending on how Dauntless plays that 2-1 split. Speaking of Dauntless, I don't think I've given them quite enough screen time here, and that's not intentional. Oh, Royals of War going after In Hyper in the distance, and I do apologize from switching away right after saying that. Sheefin taken down, leaving it riding on QZZ, Kindness, and Ren. QZZ aimed outward at Royals of War with not much in terms of cover. He is dishing out a lot of damage, but just taken down immediately after he secures that knock. That's going to leave Ren and Kindness. Ren quickly trying to drive over to assist his teammate. Kindness leaving a lot of the pressure on him, but he does have that MG3, that 7.62 LMG, and it's a squad wipe on the Royals of War. And just to put that into perspective, ladies and gentlemen, Royals of War were the winners of Dead in February. So they are not by any means an easy team to just eliminate. Peralta getting a knock on Sheefin. The second Sheefin is brought back up, he is shot back down. Kindness trying to secure this revive on his fallen teammate before Rezekis can push. Doesn't look like they have a vehicle here for that aggro push. Getting a little second chance at life there. Kindness dishing out a lot of damage to Remix, but looks like YKG having at it in the distance. So that's what we're going to go tune into in this altercation with Strangers BD. It's Chico up against G69. Or 69 or G9. Oh! Wow. Mid-air DBS to the dome. Shot and knocked before you hit the water. Sorry, I like to title the good clips just in case I want to use them on social media later on. But Forsyth trying to secure a revive on his fallen teammate Chico, but he knows that it's going to be an interesting one there. Volt is right above, and the rest of Strangers are showing up to the party. This is going to be interesting. Yeah. Well, Chico's out of there. Forsyth trying to be a sneaky Michael Phelps and get on out of there. G9 doing a little spray and pray shots, but it looks like Lungi Baba did catch a wind on Forsyth. Oh boy, this is intense. Can Forsyth make it away from this? It's not going to happen, unfortunately. But these things do happen from time to time. That's going to leave 24K as the last member up for Young Kings Global. Forsyth is quickly eliminated. And oh boy, this is a tough one for 24K, relying only on a few boosts and 5 bandages. Nothing. Oh, I withdraw that. I withdraw it. Those aren't bandies. Those are 5 first aids. 24K is in a little bit more comfortable position than I thought, but he is outnumbered by at least 3 members of the Strangers crew. So that's definitely a looming threat. Speaking of looming threat, we got In Hyper just ganging up on the playing field, working their way towards Muzexis' Peralta, and it's a quick finish at the hands of Rin. And I believe it was Rin. 24K off in the distance, still doing what he does. All right, can he catch eyes on Venom? Not so lucky just yet, but I'm going to switch over to Dauntless yet again, and the reason being because they are sandwiched on 3 sides here. Terrain is out of there, leaving it reliant on Roy's, Claws, and Yang. Claws needs to be careful. To his west, he's got Canary of Phoenix Esports looming ready and waiting. Roy's off the distance. While his teammate Yang faces off against the Panthers, it's a takedown and a thirst on Cyro before being eliminated from the side by Canary of Phoenix Esports. Roy's trying to push up to Claws to assist him in this fight against Diamonds of Phoenix. Looks like Roy's is going to have to hold off the remainder of the Panthers up there. Canary taking quite a hit, but still able to retaliate onto Claws, and he actually gets him. Wow. All right. Well, I'm not going to stick around for this for too much longer, I don't think. Yeah, Royce takes a bit of a hit there. Claws, not like to be revived. Canary, realizing that he's going to have to weigh his options because if Golden Eagles catch wind from a distance, that's another threat to worry about. Already dealing with this dead zone damage. It's a tough one. That Molly almost landed right on him. Boy, he's got Roy's of Dauntless right in front as well. And nice takedown on Roy's, and obviously it's a thirst, as Roy's was the last member of Dauntless. Oh, but the Canary has been spotted, ladies and gentlemen. Tough one. Why is that literally just a sliver? Huh. All right. Well, whatever. Unidentified humans going off in the distance. We're going to catch eyes on it here. It's Bird, 5911, Calamar, and D2E. And they are quickly approaching anime number 1. Oh boy, we got Lunatsu, pardon me, getting a takedown on 5911. Not like to be a secured thirst, especially not with Calicar holding the side angle. And D2E quickly pushing up. Quan Luatsu looking up a nade of his own. And boy, it just wrecks into 5911. That was, I don't know if that was luck or confidence or what. The only thing I can compare that to is like being a kid and watching Power Rangers when that big robot thing of theirs defeats the enemy and then it turns around before the enemy explodes. Like, how did you know? All right, well, Zuko, the last Panther remaining, just crawling around through the ruins. And he's got the immediate threat of Golden Eagles here spreading out around him. And boy, oh boy, Apollo rains hell on him. Well, 24K is still alive and in the mix here. Anime number 1 continue their altercation here with unidentified humans. It looks like another takedown. Dauntless is NA's only hope, says Clint. Hey, man. Only time will tell. Well, Dark Esports' noob is feeling quite a bit of pressure here. Gosh, Clint, this emulator is just not cutting it compared to the ones that you showed me. Switching over to InHyper, we got QZZ, Kindness, and Sheefan remaining. QZZ swimming in a pool of Wall Street's members. Lala taking a huge bit of damage there from that nade. And QZZ is not going to waste time. Quickly coming to capitalize. It's a jump shot with the UMP-45 to get the knock. But in doing so, giving up his location to Exotic, leaving it reliant upon Sheefan and Kindness. Kindness firing away from a distance with the 6x M4, responsible for 5 of the team's 7 kills. Sheefan holding that high ground from the sniper tower. Can he get a line of sight on D? He does! And that is a finish at the hands of Sheefan of InHyper. All right. So where's the next bit of blood going to come from? I would have to say, you know, if I was noob of Dark Esports, I wouldn't want to make a single sound. Unfortunately for him, he is finding himself just outside of the zone, and that is going to force him to move. Hopefully, he can make as few waves as possible. Pun very much intended. Dad jokes in full effect. Ba-boom. Dad jokes, dad jokes, dad jokes. All right. Well, Sheefan, one of 2 remaining hopes for InHyper, catching a sight on the Joker crate and thinking it's an enemy. It could happen to any of us. I think we've all been guilty of that. Fallen victim to that Joker crate before. Well, he might have a saving grace in the form of Kindness here, who does have a higher angle, maybe able to assist his teammate, but looks like he's a little focused in on anime number 1, leaving Sheefan to deal with Execute. Now, if Execute gets fired on by Dark Esports, it's going to be NHP getting another second chance at life there. But boy, anime number 1 is right above. And I don't blame that Thomtu here for holding this compound. I mean, he's a solo. Those 4 walls might be his best bet, but he can't fall victim to that too comfortable sense there. You can't get too reassured that those 4 walls are going to save him or keep him hidden, because as we know all too well, this map is small. Footsteps can be heard all too easily. Noob realizing really quickly that his moments are numbered. He's going to have to make a move happen and fast. And Casper with some preemptive nades, just shy of the mark, but that's going to be a quick finish there with the Vector. All right. So guys, we are down to 3 teams. It's a 3v2v1 Execute InHyper and anime number 1. And anime number 1 is anime number 3, apparently. Monster nades and InHyper finding themselves in a 2v3, but look at this. 9 of the team's 11 kills are between these 2 players, Sheefan and Kindness. So, I mean, you just cannot... I mean, even if it was down to a solo, you cannot rule teams like InHyper or Golden Eagles. You can't rule, obviously, the Young Kings out. You know, these in-games are going to be just intense moving forward throughout the series of this event. As we enter 5 years of the PUBG Mobile competitive esports scene, you can expect that elevated level of gameplay, especially with the push towards the aggressive strategy with the new scoring system. Players are not going to be given or rewarded as many points for placement as they previously were. So that's hopefully the outcome of that is going to mean more altercations, more aggressive gameplay. And that's what we want to see at 5 years into PUBG Mobile Esports. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final calm before the storm here. Kindness, Shifen versus Fate, Casper, and Jason. Oh, what a nade on Shifen! Well, his name might be Kindness, but Execute is not kind. Not at all. And they are just going to let those bullets rain down. Execute. Monster performance between Jason and Casper. Responsible for all 10 of the team's kills between those two players. In Hyper. Silver medal finish, but with 11 kills to their name. Anime number 1. Third place with 5 kills. Dark Esports grabbing 4th with 0. Golden Eagle securing 5th with 7. We got the Young Kings in 6th, but with 8 kills between 3 of their players. Wall Street Bets grabbing 7th this time around, but with 2 kills. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. 8th place belongs to the Unidentified Humans, and that's going to be with 6. The Panthers in 9th this time around with 6 as well, 4 of which go to Zuko. The Phoenix Esports crew, not going to be able to rise from the ashes on this one. Canary, 3 kills and 10th place finish. Strangers entering as a full 4-piece for the first time tonight, grabbing 11th place with 6 kills. 12th place is going to belong to Dauntless, Clint Abyss's last hope for NA. That's going to be with 1 kill from Yang. The boys in Mizex is securing 13th with 4, half of which go to Remix. 14th belongs to the Royals of War with 3. Coming in 15th, it's going to be Your Executioner with 1 kill going to Hunter of Gunmen. I believe that was on Fate's team. So he might only have 1 kill, but it was on a Tier 1 Pro. Wanted Vigilantes in 16th place with 1 kill from Fishy. We got Bope Esports in 17th this time around, but with 0 kills to speak of. The Rude Dudes in 18th with 0. Keeping up that trend. Old Gangsters in 19th with a big onion. And Excuse with more of the same. 20th place, 0 kills. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is 3 matches down. That's all the different maps in terms of variety that we're going to be getting today. But we still have 1 more match ahead of us. Now, we've seen them on all the maps that we're going to see, but we're going to go conclude the night where it all began, the very first map ever introduced to the game, Erangel, the one that our participants should be most comfortable with, most synergized, and most rehearsed on. So, who's going to want that $400 first place finish the most? We're going to have to wait just a few short minutes, guys, as we return for our 4th and final round of my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in March Tournament Finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. Stick around. We'll be back soon.
Under pressure, no more time.
Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our fourth and our final round of the night for my very own RedEyes $450 Dead in March tournament finals, brought to you and sponsored by Hunter of Gunmen and Glacier Gaming. Now, as we have all known here, this is going to be the final match of the night, where we end things where it all began, concluding at the very start. The ending is the beginning. Erangel. Now, this is the map that players are supposed to be most acquainted with, most synergized with, most rehearsed on. So this is where I expect to see the big plays. And it all boils down to this final 30 minutes, this last match. Who wants it bad enough? We're about to find out. Now, everything we said about this map, we already said it in round one. We don't need to repeat anything. Let's just focus on this flight path, which is an absolute nightmare for the participants, and where people are actually going to end up going. So right away, we see unidentified humans kind of breaking from the path and claiming a northbound rotation. It looks like they're going to go all the way up to Zarky, potentially. Their closest threat would be Dauntless at North George. Let's see. We got Golden Eagles and Old Gangsters looking like they might drop by one another again at the Pachinki region. And they won't be alone this time. They're going to have Royals of War to worry about. So let's go start things off by tuning into that. Little bit of render, as to be expected. This is still a mobile game, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you might be looking at yourself and saying, yo, RedEyes, is that an on-sleeve print of some brand new RedEyes strip? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you guys keep talking about it, I suppose. Yeah. Now, while this shirt was available in the store for a very brief period, we're taking it off the store to do some quick revisions to it before we add it up. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get some on-sleeve prints available for you very shortly. Let's go ahead and get into the thick of it, though. So, Nav holding position and surrounded by Royals of War and Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles implementing a 2-1-1 split. That could be huge for them if they are able to utilize that BOA strat. But I'm also kind of wanting to see what's going to happen with the Young Kings. We got Chico just right up here in the mix, and it looks like it's going to be up against a member of, I believe that's Wall Street Bets. It's either 12 or 21. I can't see which team color that is. It's Wall Street Bets Lala. And he doesn't seem to be too aware of YKG at the moment. But in Hyper, just pushing right up into the mix here onto Wall Street Bets. This is about to be intense. Alright, collecting themselves, solidifying as a single unit here, making sure they're all full health and pushing up together. This is the kind of gameplay strat that you would expect from a Tier 1 pro team, like in Hyper. Oh, but no time to waste. Your Executioner off in the distance, already getting into the thick of it. We got Mizex's Trick with a takedown. Now, I know that they switched team slots. They asked for permission. One of their players had to step away after he joined in the lobby, and I figure it's last match. It really shouldn't be of any consequence. Oh, Royals of War and the Golden Eagles having at it as Beowulf gets a takedown of his own. And that's going to put the pressure onto Dreamzy and MTN. Ooh! There's a nice takedown. Deepen getting D from Wall Street Bets in the distance, and you knew that was going to happen. That was a quick push onto the opponent. Kubi's down by kindness. Chiefin gets the finish on Apollo with that 53-round clip. Bison putting some hurting in, and that's going to put the Royals of War in a real conundrum, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's going to be riding on Dreamzy and Dreamzy alone, clinging to life by the hair on his or her chin here. I withdraw that, actually. It looks like he was able to heal up earlier. All right, so Dreamzy now firing away, getting some great damage in on the opponent, but taking shots from Jassa, I believe. Jassa or whoever held the second story. But the nade for the finish! Golly! All right. Well, out of the frying pan into the fire. Baby Tang has no time to celebrate. And, oh, it's going to be Apollo with a takedown on Playboy. And Baby Tang adding into the chaos with that UMP QBZ combo. Pardon, FAMAS combo. Can't believe I just said that. FAMAS combo. All right, Jassa of the Old Gangsters in for a world of hurt, desperately trying to escape the oncoming threat that is Golden Eagles, cooking up a preemptive nade, trying to make it rain hellfire, and it does not connect. And Jassa feels those moments becoming few here, firing away on the staircase with the Uzi, dealing out a great bit of damage, getting the first takedown, but ultimately with no health left to face another opponent. And that was quick work. Golden Eagles will carry on, but they are not out of the thick of it, so to speak, just yet. They've got Strangers BD who heard those shots in the distance and are come in with a third party on their mind. Volt X pulling a nice little flank rotation here. Might be able to catch the Golden Eagles unaware. And either way, they have them surrounded and sandwiched. This is a good play. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Strangers, I believe, it was Strangers, I think, who won round 1 as a 3-piece. So they definitely have shown that they have quite a bit of synergy and practice here on Erangel, and I'm wondering if they can make lightning strike twice. Now, inactive of Mezexis cannot be inactive here. He's going to have to do something fast. Ooh, Beowulf is naded out by D in the distance, all the while executing Dark Esports having at it. Ooh! Nope, we gotta switch it. I know there's a fight right now, but if YKG and Hyper are fighting, we are not gonna miss this. Ooh, it's a battle of nades! That is Chico being downed. 24K trying to get that vehicle and put it in front of Chico for some cover, but here comes Hyper and wasting no time. They are very aggressive and blood on the mind here as QZZ and Kindness approach from the side, and it's a monster nade on the 24K. Well, that is going to be a lot of trouble here. It's down to Forsyth and Joey. Forsyth is downed. Joey's the last hope. Sorry, guys, just want to rename this. Okay. So, next bit of blood gonna come from... Ooh, there's so many options here. We got Execute facing off against Dark Esports, as we noted earlier, and they've got them surrounded on two sides. All the while, we got Mezexis facing off against the likes of Excuse at Military. Yeah, we're going to switch out of here. I don't want to have any downtime like that. Oh boy, Joey, the last hope for YKG, has Hyper on his heels. Well, Excuse reduced down to half of their starting base here, reliant on Rosh and Extra It alone here, and Extra It has the oncoming opposition of Mezexis' inactive getting closer and closer, and boy, I would like it if this would just render in. Well, I'm not really sure what's going on here, guys. I apologize. This is some serious render issue. There we go. Well, Rosh is downed in the distance, leaving it reliant on Extra It and him alone. All right. Well, this is going to be quite a conundrum for Extra. He's being surrounded here on multiple sides here. It's a 3-1 split with Trick holding the off angle. And while he knows that of Trick's whereabouts, that doesn't mean he can defend against 2 different angles at the same time. It's going to take a little bit of luck in this as well. Does some significant damage there. Not enough for a knock. Not even close for a knock. Aiming in quickly on inactive, reducing him down to 50% of his overall health, and then pushing forward through the smoke in an aggressive push. Swimming through that smoke, utilizing that tactical utility cover. And here we go. Inactive versus extra. It's a nice takedown with that AK. Quick thirst to follow. And now, do we have ourselves a 1v1? I think we do. Yep, a 1v1. Mezexis, Trick, performing so well in PMPL right now, up against Extra It of Excuse Esports. All the while, unidentified humans and wanted vigilantes having at it in the distance. I think I'm going to switch just in case. Yeah. Oh, boy, it's all riding on Bird and Bird alone. Duking it out with Zed of wanted vigilantes in the water zone, or pardon me, Watertown. Oh, he wants to revive his buddy D2, but I think this could be a real bit of... Pardon me. He is... I'm going to withdraw that whole sentence, you guys. When I build my time machine, that never happened. They are not on a team. But wanted vigilantes getting a little bit closer here. They are going to push up. Zed giving a moment of open vulnerability. It's going to undo him right here and now. Bird! His shots were good, but just not quite enough. And Zed might be able to heal. Bird going to try to... Oh, little breath of fresh air there. I gotta feel kind of bad for Bird because his kill was stolen, but... Or I guess it wasn't stolen when, you know, they got the knock. They being the likes of Anime #1. But it almost seemed for a brief moment as if that nade was going to be the finish. Oh my ladies and gentlemen, how did I oversee this? The man, the myth, the legend himself. Mr. Coops, formerly of the Pittsburgh Knights, filling in here with the Panthers, really stretching his feet out and dipping his toes into the European scene's water. All the while, we got the Rude Dudes facing off against the Panthers here. We got Reflex firing outwards with that Scar L. It looks like Moose holds a closer angle here to Nate and Zuko. Nate taken down. Zuko could be soon to follow, and he is right there with that 6x M4 combo. I want to give a huge shout out to Clint Abyss. You guys have no idea how much that guy does for the PUBG Mobile community behind the scenes. It is unreal. And he is just the nicest guy. And to find the time in his day to come tune into some non-affiliated event, it just goes to show what kind of good character he has. So huge shout out to him, and thank you for being here, buddy. Alright, well, I don't know if Rude Dudes are going to get out of this, but I'm not going to wait and find out. I'm going to switch over to another fight. We're going to switch to Bope and their altercation with Hyper. Oh, takedown on Kindness. Let's get it from Bope's perspective. Ooh, Golly! Joey getting a takedown off in the distance on Rin here, while the remainder of Hyper deals with Bope. And there's that DBS from Hot Zada. One shot, one kill. And look, a third party coming in from behind. It's Phoenix. It's Phoenix Esports. All the while, Coops and Benzema trying to hold their ground here. Coops taking a lot of damage, but is able to secure the knock. And boom, Benzema adding on to it with a takedown of his own. Coops wasting no time, focusing his attention uphill to the high ground holder of Manny from Rude Dudes. All the while, QZZ of Hyper facing off with Bope. Benzema getting an angle on Monty. Gonna cook up a nade. Gonna go Martha Stewart, make it rain some hellfire while Coops drives up. Ooh. Speaking of Hellfire, that Molly does dish away some good damage to Manny, and Coops knows it. Easy claps for the man himself. Oops. Renaming. I have that in there for sure. All right. Well, Execute and the Phoenix crew about to face off right now. Yep, and Casper getting a takedown on Alf. That Bugatti looking very snazzy. Look at these guys driving right up to diamonds of Phoenix Esports, not afraid of anything. It's all reliant on Fate and Casper at this point. Juancho is down, looking like he's going to be revived without too much trouble. Looks like YKG down to Joey, and Joey alone at this point, but still put up 2 kills. Can he get to some sort of position of stability? Can he find somewhere just lay low and let those numbers dwindle? Well, Casper of Execute taken out from the distance, and boy, Joey gets no rest. He's gonna have to fight, and it looks like he does right there and then. Whoever he eliminated, the deed is done. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 4 teams hanging out in the dead zone, and Unidentified Humans is coming southbound to join the party. Dauntless and Erangel, the last hope for Dauntless, firing outwards at 5911, and Bird dealing out the damage. Boy, a Canary! He knocks himself. Oh, wait, Deluido does the thing. Dies to fall. Maybe they just didn't even get up the kill. Well, the last Phoenix here is diamonds, and it's hard to break a diamond, baby. He's firing down here. Does at least have that high ground advantage, and he's got diamonds down awfully low. He would need to heal up, but he's got to escape the clutches of that dead zone. I don't know what diamonds would be able to do here in this position. Well, he gets the position, and he clutches. Wow. That was a huge margin of error there that Terrangi just exemplified. He had all the work done in his favor. He had his opponent caught in between him and the dead zone, taking that zone damage. He had his opponent down to maybe 15% health. But ultimately, that little bit of error is all that he needed. All that diamonds needed. So we are down to 8 teams spread across 15 people, guys. And there is only one full 4-person team remaining. And that is, you guessed it, the winners of round 1, Strangers BD. I am curious if they can make Erangel their map. Can they win both of the Erangel matches today? All right. Well, that does leave us with a little moment of downtime. And while it is the ending of the day here, I still think I may as well just go through the format. So, we got 20 teams competing in the qualifiers. Of those, 4 from each qualifier advance for a total of 12 qualified teams plus 8 invited Tier 1 teams. This is just the old graphic where they all duke it out at the finals for the $450 cash prize. And ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing new. We've been doing this for a long time. This is the 25th month of the Dead Month tournament. And you can bet we're coming back next month for the 26th month, bringing Dead in April to your doorstep with that brand new PMPL new scoring system. Less emphasis on placement, more emphasis on eliminations. Can Diamond make a little work happen here? Throw in some nades. He's definitely caught Strangers Unaware, dealing out some great damage, but unfortunately somehow not able to get the takedown on 9. Yeah, and at that stage, outnumbered, outmanned, now gunned, and he got a little ahead of himself and pushed out into a vulnerable space. Well, anime number 1 versus Unidentified Humans. A nice takedown on 5911, leaving Bird and Bird alone. Oh, I withdraw that. Bird was eliminated as well. Shot down in his prime. All right, guys, we got 4 teams remaining, I believe. Yep, just 5 teams remaining here. It's going to be a 4v3, v2, v1, v1 to end our final round. Oh, no. Joey being banged up. Oh, no! I can't believe I didn't see that happening. No way. Until the brief moment, and I swear once you switch over and you know it, you're about to get the very last second of it. That's when Render likes to render the most. Well, YKG put up a great performance. Even as a solo, Joey is able to bring his team all the way up to that 4th place finish, and that placement is not going to be for nothing. I think it's definitely going to carry some weight for him. But it all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. The final calm before the storm. 3 teams remain. We got ourselves a 3v3v2. Wait, how does that math add up? 4v3v2, pardon me. Strangers, anime number 1, and the Panthers. Let's get it on. You know, this is a real opportunity here for the likes of the Panthers, Coops and Benzema. They have the edge of zone, they have the high ground, and they don't seem to be taking much of the focus between Strangers and anime number 1. It's a real opportunity to utilize that Overwatch, and it looks like Coops and Benzema are going to be a little bit more aggressive than even that. Oh, but as I say it, Lungi Baba pushing up. Coops not fools for a second. 6x M4 high ground. It's done. All right, guys. The final showdown. Yeah, if I were the Panthers, I wouldn't really see that need to rotate inbound into this new zone just yet. Why take the attention off of this fight? Well, Benzema has a good reason, because he's got the off angle on Soul, and it's easy claps. He gets the quick takedown, and Soul, as we have seen, was by far their heaviest aggressive killer. That's quite a hit for Anime. And boy, Stranger's gonna come up to try to steal it. No, wait. There we go. It's all riding on that thumb. And boy, oh boy, I say it time and time again, 4 walls giving a false sense of security here. And I think that he's about to learn that little lesson here for himself right then and there. Yep, as soon as I switch away, he is out of there. All right. Coops, enshrouding himself in some utility cover here, going to do further exemplify just how critical having smokes and utilities can be in this game, especially come in-game in the competitive PUBG Mobile esports scene. Benzema going to make his big old attempt to get inbound into the zone. He does get positioning behind this boulder, utilizing what geographical cover he can, but taking a lot of attention from the likes of Strangers and Anime. That vehicle is out of commission at this point. Oof. And even with a care package dropping so close by, I don't see him being able to get to that without being taken out of the equation. And just like that, then there were 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2v3. Coops and Benzema versus the 3-piece of Strangers BD, Venom, G9, and Voltex. Coops aiming through the smoke. That 6x M4 just ready for a sliver of the opposition to show. Benzema holding the boulder here. Oh, he's going to go for it? I knew it. I knew that was going to be the undoing. That crate was so close, it was almost impossible to say no to, but Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, sometimes even the best can be taken down. That's what I love about PUBG. Nothing is for sure. I mean, the only thing that you can predict in PUBG is unpredictability, and I love that. And any way that you look at it, ladies and gentlemen, that has got to be game over, and we're going to give it up. Strangers BD, lightning strikes twice. They take another Erangel dub, and not only do they take an Erangel dub, but they do so with 11 kills on the board. And I believe in round 1 they had, I think, 10. I could be incorrect, but these 11 kills, just another very, very graced 21 points on the board for them. Very much needed, very much appreciated, especially considering they didn't really have the best match in round 2, especially. The Panthers thanking their lucky stars for Coops and Benzema as they managed to take that silver medal second place finish with 6 kills even. We got the anime #1 crew coming in third this time around with 3 kills. All 3 came from Dat Dam. The Young Kings YKG in 4th place with 2 kills, both of which came from Joey. We got the Wanted Vigilantes grabbing 5th place with 6 kills. Pardon me. Unidentified Humans grabbing 6 this time around with 2. And both of those kills came from 5911. We got the Phoenix crew coming out in 7th with 4 kills, half of which go to Canary. Mezexis, 8th place with 4 kills. All 4 came from their AFK trick. I bet they are glad that they got into the same slot as him. Dauntless, a rough finish here for them to end the night. 9th place, big ol' onion in terms of kills. Execute coming in the middle line here, getting a 10th place finish with 5 kills. 3 of those 5 came from Juancho. In Hyper, 11th place, but you know, even though they were eliminated early on, they were able to put up pretty healthy 11 kills before being taken out. Bope Esports coming in 12th this time around with 4 kills between Hot Zada and No Hacks. The Rude Dude securing 13th with 2. Excuse grabbing 14th with 3. 15th goes to the likes of Dark Esports with 1 kill that came from Ronaldo. The Golden Eagles landing in 16th place this time around with 6 kills, half of which go to Baby Tang. Old Gangsters having a rough day. 17th place, 2 kills. Royals of War, not like to be getting that $400 prize pool this month, I don't think. Not with an 18th place finish with 0 kills. We got the Wall Street Bets in 19th with 0. And lastly, Your Executioner in 20th and last place with 1 kill from Yaz. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has got to conclude the Dead in March tournament for the year. Absolute banger of a finals event. Viewer count was a little low today. That does concern me, but the action and the content was through the freaking roof. Nothing but absolute tier 1 monsters coming in. And then, honestly, everyone from the tier 2, tier 3 open scrim community that made it to these finals proved exactly how they got here. They all put up some pretty impressive performances. Even, you know, if you're a team like Your Executioner and had a couple last place finishes, we still saw some pretty impressive plays with them and Execute. So I think nothing but room for improvement for that team who is just establishing their synergy. They're a fairly new team. But that's that for March. And with that being said, we're going to be coming at you guys with Dead in April, the 26th installment of the tournament next month. The dates have not been set in stone just yet, so I haven't announced anything for it just yet. But you can bet your bottom dollar I will be posting a graphic probably within the first 4 to 5 days of April. So, yeah, if you guys are interested, saying, hey, RedEyes, how would I become a part of an event such as this? There is only one way to register, and that is through my Discord server, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you are watching on the YouTube feed, there is a link posted to the chat, and that actually has my link tree. So if you click on that, the Discord is available there. But I'll go ahead and paste it right now as well. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much to the community that did show up here to show their support for their friends, their teammates, their clanmates, uh, maybe even for the event and myself as well. It means the absolute world to me. This event is, it's weird. It's like I'm just so proud of it. And I don't want to toot my horn, but my staff and I, we bust our butts to put this on for the community. And I admit, some days the viewer turnouts could do better, but honestly, it's about the most satisfying feeling that I can think of is just when people appreciate the event and participate, don't take it for granted. And there's not many of these kind of events left. There is one other. So let me just go ahead and say this is the second longest non-affiliated PUBG Mobile tournament in North America. The first being Rose League, currently owned by my buddy Shredder. But this is also one of only 2 opportunities to recurrently compete against the Tier 1 pros on a monthly basis. And the only other way to do that is with the brand new Titan Series tournament brought to you by Aftershock Media. If you guys aren't aware, it is a fully funded, well-produced event with a $2,000 prize pool that is now, as of season 2, season 1. This is going to be the first season. The previous was season 0. This starting this season, they are going to be extending this to the open community, meaning that you can sign up to play against these pros and have your shot at that $2,000 prize pool. That's Titan Series GG on social media. YouTube.com/@TitanSeriesGG, I believe. Twitter @TitanSeriesGG, I believe. So yes, be sure, even if you're not participating, to go show your support for that event, because as I said, guys, it's between that and this, those are your 2 shots to compete with the pros in North America. These events are few and far between, and this region is starving for events like that. So don't take it for granted, and be sure to go show them your love and support, and make sure we can do everything we can do on our end to keep that event running. With that being said, y'all, I don't want to waste anyone's time. I'm going to get out of y'all's hair. Thank you so much for your support today. It means the absolute world to me. I hope you all have a great night. Have fun, be safe, and be kind to one another. GG's.